can be easy sometimes when you're in the pipe business to forget that when people are starting out, it can be quite a daunting challenge, and there's lots of advice and so on. I mean, things are a lot easier now thanks to the likes of YouTube and social media channels. But still, I thought I would just go through a few of the basics and kind of see where it takes us, really. So all I wanted to do today, I've just basically put together a few of the essentials. So if I start with the pipes, this is my trusty Keary Shear Genius Mark II. I actually enjoy the 9mm filtration system, as well as our Magic Inch filter system. But this is a pipe I've had for a long time now, and it's the one I'll use today. But a couple of the other pipes that I've got, these are just ones that I've got kind of lying around at home. But a nice ebony straight Shear Genius Mark II, and also one of our smaller. This is our 10-minute pipe, and so you can see straight away that you know, there is a significant size difference. The bowl capacity is significantly different, and these are all the kind of things that that you want to look for when you're just starting out smoking. I mean, this I love because it provides a good long smoke. It's got a because of the high quality briar, it can afford to have reasonably thin bowl wall. It's got beautiful colouring on it, and it's a middleweight pipe, so you can still have it kind of hanging out of your mouth, and it doesn't make your jaw tired. Something like this, great for a beginner. This is one of our Magic Inch pipes, and therefore a very lightweight stem, a nylon stem, and the Magic Inch system, which is one of these small Paparit tubes, a couple of holes in the insert in the pipe, so the Paparit goes over the top. It's essential that you use the Paparit tubes, because otherwise you don't get the correct draw. If you leave that tube off, then too much air comes in when you're drawing in through these slats in the mouthpiece, and that means that you simply won't draw anything through the bowl. But with the correct Paparit in, then you get the right draw. I'll do a different video specifically about the Magic Inch system, but that's a little bit of background. Back to the pipe. This is really nice. It's lightweight. It's a 10-minute pipe, we call it, so it's reasonably small bowled, and that's a good starter pipe. This is £19.95. It's top quality briar. The quality of our briar doesn't really change from pipe to pipe. It's just you're getting more or less of it, and the graining and so on. But the actual quality of the wood is equal. So you're getting a good quality briar pipe. And that's something that'll be good to practice on. But like I say, I will show you in my trusty Shear Genius. The other thing that you'll be wanting to think about as a beginner is what kind of tobacco and what kind of tools you need. So if we look at the tobacco first, I've got a couple here. So this is actually our Wild Cherry, which is a reasonably fine cut for a pipe tobacco, and you can see there it's a lovely mix of Virginia's, Cavendish, with a cherry topping. Nice. You can feel a little bit of oil on it, but not too wet. So that would be one option. An aromatic is what I always recommend for new pipe smokers. I just think it's a way to ease yourself into tobaccos. You can start understanding a little bit more about what each tobacco provides to a blend, and you get a nice mild, usually flavourful smoke. This would be another option. So this is a flake tobacco. This is actually our new vanilla flake. And again, flake tobaccos just add a tactile element, because, well, what I would recommend when you're filling a pipe with flake tobacco, some people, there's lots and lots of techniques and so on. Some people literally take a flake and roll it or spin it or compress it or whatever, and literally just pop it into the pipe like that and keep doing that until it's full. I actually always just rub out my flakes. So again, it's all about time, taking the time, enjoying yourself. You get to smell the tobacco, you get to feel it. You can feel how wet or dry it is. You know, if it's dry, you might want to add some moisture with a little spray bottle, and just some distilled water or a little bit of vanilla essence. Try and make sure it is distilled, or mineral water anyway. The stuff that comes out of your tap is probably going to have fluoride in it and other chemicals and so on and so forth, and you know, that's not going to do your tobacco any good. But if you find that your tobacco is a little dry, a couple of sprays from an atomizer of a very lightweight vanilla essence, and then mix it all up and leave it in its in your tobacco jar or in your pouch or your glass jar for a couple of days, and that moisture will just work its way around. So while I've been talking about that, as you can see, you know, that's not hugely dissimilar to that now, and makes for in my opinion anyway, makes for an easier pipe packing. As far as the actual pipe packing is concerned, really what you want to have handy is a tamper. This one's a tamper and a tool, but often very much overlooked. I see a lot of videos and they talk about pipe smoking and so on, and people won't have a tamper. And to be honest, as far as packing a pipe, keeping it lit, you really can't beat the tamper. That is, I think, the most important tool. And obviously a lighter, any number of lighters. This is obviously a specific pipe lighter with the bent nozzle, and it just makes certain that you can actually get the flame over the bowl. It makes it easier to light and so on. The advice would always be really to use matches. If you are going to use matches, once you've struck the match, just let it burn for a couple of seconds to get rid of all the sulphur off the striking end, and then you're into the actual burning wood, and that then will light your pipe best. The advantage of a match flame is that it's not too hot, so it won't burn the actual edges of your bowl. Whereas if you've got a lighter and you're holding it wrong, you could easily find that you're creating hot spots around the bowl and so on. Where a match, you literally can lay it on the top and then draw. That just pulls the flame down into the tobacco. So just very quickly, I think there's a lot of talk. I think one of the biggest issues for new pipe smokers is almost too much information. I think what I always tell people, everyone will develop their own technique and their own style, and the simple fact is there is no one right style. Whatever works for you is the right way of doing it. So you can see lots of people telling you that this is the way and you've got to spin it this way. There's other people that tell you that you've got to roll things out in the palm of your hand or twist it in a certain way or whatever. My view is just do it. Just practice, try, and you know, you will get to a point where you will find your way of packing a pipe. The things you really want to look out for are, if you pack it too tightly, then you will struggle to draw any flame down through it, and when that happens, you won't light it evenly, and you'll constantly have to relight because the tobacco won't stay lit. On the flip side of that, if you pack it too gently or too lightly, you will draw too much air down when you suck through the mouthpiece, and that'll then burn to hot. It'll give you a hot smoke, probably a wet smoke, and it'll generally be quite unpleasant. So what you want to do, I always say, pack your tobacco down. I would say most of the time you'll pack it too lightly. So pack that down, so if you can see, it's nicely packed in, and then just take a couple of draws. Okay, that's pretty much perfect. If you find there should be some resistance, so it should be harder than just sucking through a straw, and you should hear a little bit of sound. So okay, so there's a little bit of sound there. If it's as easy as sucking through a straw, you need to tamp it down, and if you're sucking away and getting nothing through it, then yeah, you need to probably dig it all out and just loosen it up a bit, rather than just try and loosen what you've got in there. I would actually be inclined to get your tool out, dig that tobacco out, and mix it all up and pop it in again. But there you go. So I've not actually lit this one all the way to the top. Sorry, I've not actually filled this one all the way to the top, but that's a nicely lit pipe. Can draw well. The other thing I would do is always make sure that if you are using a filter system, make sure that your filter's still in good condition. So that one is, that's fine. And the other thing, if you're using a 9mm, again, there can be some confusion about this, but make sure that the ceramic end, or the porcelain or ceramic end, which is usually left white, is facing down towards the bowl. The plastic bit at the top will melt if it's down too close to the lit bowl, and then it's not doing you any favours. So there you go, one prepared pipe. Now all I've got to do is put a little bit more gas in that lighter, and I'm ready to go.